Hi everybody, we're going to do a bit of reading here and we're going to continue on with our explaining, but this time we're going to be using some song lyrics and a song that you might know, and we're going to use that and we're going to be explaining maybe some of the features and what some of the meanings behind some of the words. So what I suggest that you do is you have a look on Dojo for the reading PDF and you have a look at that, because the PDF will be these slides and it will have the video. So watch the video. I'm also going to give you a text PDF file. Have a look at the text and that will be the words. So what I suggest you do actually is just to open the PDF, look at the words, and then have the video playing in the background. Maybe get familiar with the song, have a think about what it might be about, look through the lyrics. Are there any clues in there? But we're going to have a look at that today together. So if you've listened to the song, if you haven't, go and listen to it now, then come back. But the song is called This Is Me, and it's a song from a film called The Greatest Showman, and this song in particular is all about one of the characters learning to stand up for themselves, and they're sort of accepting who they are. They might be a little bit strange and a little bit odd, but that's the way they were born, and they need to make the most of it and learning to ignore other people. And it's the film The Great Showman explores similar issues. So follow the link, watch it through, and what I want you to do, as soon as you finish, what I want you to do is just to jot down some initial thoughts. Note down your initial feelings, your thoughts. Did you enjoy the song? What did you notice about how it made you feel? Were there any lyrics that stood out? If you get all of these initial ideas down, what might that person be thinking? What might that character be like? Is it a song you like? Did you prefer it on the second time? Did you understand more of the words on the second? Jot down all of these little ideas and pause the video and give yourself some time, because I'm going to go straight in to our questions today. So for our one chili, what I would like you to do is just have a think, sort of extend the activity that you've just done. Have a think about how did the beginning of the song make you feel. So just the beginning bit, because it was very, very different to the end. And once you've had a think about it, how did it make you feel? And have a think about how the music made you feel, how the words made you feel, maybe the emotions of the singer, how it made you feel. And now what I want you to do, once you've done the beginning, now the ending was very different. So I want you to, how did the end of the song make you feel? Or how do you think the character felt at the end? So you might have some emotions that come up, you might jot them down, and try and have a think, why do you think that? What is different from the beginning? It might be something to do with the music, it might be something to do with the words, it might be the volume changes, it might be the speed changes. It doesn't have to be technical music words, but just talk about how you think at the end of the song made you feel. Oh, I've just noticed. How does the end of the song make you feel? I don't know what happened there. And once you've done that, have a think about, what do you think the meaning behind the song is? There is a meaning. Is there a message, like a moral almost? What do you think? What have you taken away from this song? What sort of role might it have played in the movie? Why might the character be singing it? And also, what I want you to have a look at, in there, if you have a look through the lyrics, you'll see a bit of a line, a lyric that says, "I'm not a stranger to the dark." What does that mean? You might want to think about some of the other lines around that, because they're not talking about literally the dark. They're not talking about they've seen darkness before, like they've actual like no light. They're not in a dark room. What might that "I'm not a stranger to the dark" mean in the context of the song? For our two chilies, what I want you to do is, along very similar lines, I want you to have a look at how does the character's feeling change from the beginning of the story to the end. How might this be important to the story? So have a think about it. It is incredibly different. So what I would suggest you do is, again, I say this all the time, a nice table. How it makes you feel. You might put B for the beginning, E for end. I don't know. How it made you feel. For me, this just means I can look at both of them at the same time and I can think, how is that really different? So it might be, you might be thinking in terms of the music. How was the music different? And what was the impact on the journey of the character? Because ultimately, there is a reason, as we've spoken about. So why might the beginning of the song be very different to the end of the song? Think about what the song might be about, and we've discussed sort of the meaning here. How does that's what the film's about, and this song is one of the big songs from that film. So another round of bullets hits my skin. What does this tell us about the character's life? Now, she's not talking about physical bullets. She doesn't live in a war zone. People aren't shooting actual bullets at her. What could the bullets be? And what does that tell us about her life? Maybe you might want to read other sentences around that quote. And what was the general gist of what she's trying to say? The song is about a character's journey to accepting who she is. How is this shown throughout the song? So how do they show that this character is beginning to accept who she is? So for a question like this, you might want to put a few quotes in there. Now, in an assessment, we would only put the amount of quotes for the amount of marks. But here, just because it's practice, I want you to go through and just note down as many as you can. And we've got, again, another round of bullets hits my skin. What literary device is this an example of? So when we talk about literary devices, we talk about things like alliteration, simile, hyperbole, things like onomatopoeia, metaphor. We talk about all of those almost like figurative language devices. What is another round of bullets hits my skin? What is that an example of? What literary device? So is it a simile? Is it a metaphor? Is it onomatopoeia? Is it alliteration? Is it repetition? Be interested. So it could just be, I think it's this. It hasn't asked for a why. So just put down what you think it is. So, our three chilies. So the beginning and the end, the beginning and the end of the song are very different. Why do you think this is? Very similar to the other chilies. Why do you think the beginning and the end is very different? Remember, this is a song and it's trying to, what's it trying to show? What is it used in? Why might the end be very different? Because it's not an accident that they're very different. What is that trying to show? Question 2. How does the composer, so that's the person who writes the music, reflect the character's journey in the music? So we're not talking about the words now, we're talking about the music. So it's very cleverly showing the journey of the character. You might have to listen to the song over and over again multiple times, and that's fine. If you need to do that, do that. You also, don't worry if you're not sure of the technical musical language. You can use things like louder, faster, more complicated, less complicated, things like that. Our third question, what is meant by the phrase, "and I am marching on to the beat I drum"? Think about that. Think about what the meaning of the song is, and the film. We discussed that right at the beginning. What is meant by the phrase, "I am marching on to the beat I drum"? Now I'm going to draw your attention to that, the I. That's important. Where might we see marching and drums together? What is the use of that, and what is the significance of that character doing it? Also, we've got another question here. Why do you think that the song ends with that single line, "This is me"? Give it your best shot. I'm going to go through the answers to the 1 chili, 2 chili and 3 chili. So listen, come back, answer the questions, and then you might need to skip through some of the explanations. So let's have a look at our 1 chili. So how does the beginning of the song make you feel? So the beginning of the song is very slow, it's very quiet. We've got this character, she's singing a few words at a time. There's big pauses in the middle. It's almost as if she's hiding, so she might be quite sad, quite depressed, maybe quite shy, that she's hiding away. And she says that as well, doesn't she? She says, "Hide away, hide away." So that is shown through the fact that the music's really slow. It's normally quite sad music. So have a think about how that is different to at the end. So at the end, the music is quite loud. She's singing. She's got lots of people around her that are now singing with her. She's no longer singing on her own. It's quite confident singing. It's quite powerful. It's almost like at the beginning, she really didn't want to be seen. She was quite quiet. She was quite timid. But actually, at the end, she wants everybody to see her. Because she's quite loud. So she's probably feeling quite happy, quite determined, quite confident, I would say. Well done if you've got those two. So at the beginning, she's feeling quite sad, and at the end of the song, it's quite happy, maybe a powerful, confident, might be singing along at this point. What do you think the meaning of the song is? So if we look, it's a lot. We think about that character's journey from being quite sad, doesn't want to be near people, but now, and it says something. One of the lines was, "We don't want your broken parts." So she was a little bit different to other people. But actually at the end, it's almost like she doesn't care that she's different. She's going to enjoy it anyway. So the meaning behind the song is, so you should be proud of who you are. You should be confident for who you are. You shouldn't want to change. Something along those lines. It's quite an empowering song. And finally, what is meant by the phrase, "I'm not a stranger to the dark"? So if you think about the dark, what does the darkness do? It hides things, doesn't it? You can't really see in the dark. So maybe she's not a stranger to the dark. She always wants to be in the dark. So it's almost sort of implying that she doesn't want to be seen. Yeah, and she's used to hiding and staying out of people's way. Well done if you got those. Some very tricky questions there. Well done. So, how does the character's feelings change from the beginning of the story to the end? How might this be important to the story? So if you, very much like I said in the previous set of questions, at the beginning, the character's feeling quite shy, and the singer and the composer show this through like the really slow music, it's really quiet music. When she's actually singing, she's taking lots of pauses in between the lines. It's very quiet. It's almost like she's very shy. And some of the words she's talking about, she's not scared of hiding away. Other people don't want her around. They don't want her broken parts. Whereas, if we contrast that towards the end of the song, We've got her singing incredibly powerfully. She's incredibly loud. It's almost, you might start tapping your feet at this point. You might start moving and dancing a little bit because she's putting a lot of effort into it. She's quite proud. She's definitely not hiding anymore because she's got all of these people now that are singing around her. And it's really important because it's showing that journey. It's showing her at the beginning she's really shy, but that she realises, actually, if these people aren't going to accept me, what I could do is I could keep hiding, but I'll be left out. So the only other thing I can do is start to get a bit more confident. How do you get more confident? You accept that you can't be perfect, and then you should be proud of who you are. And it doesn't really matter if people aren't going to accept you, then hey, that's their loss. So it says here on our next question, another round of bullets hits my skin. What does this tell us about the character's life? So have a think about the image that shows into us. So we've got lots of bullets. Imagine if someone was to be shot with actual physical bullets, it would probably quite hurt. So we're saying like another round. So this another round implies that it's happened again. So it happens all the time. She's used to it. It's not really a shock. It's not like, oh my God, I've just been shot. She's just like, no, it's another round of bullets. Hits my skin. So if you think about what a bullet would do, if it hit your skin, it would go straight through you, wouldn't it? So have a think about what these bullets might be. What could these other people be shooting at her or spraying at her? It's going to be their words. The bullets, you hear the, it's all of these words that these people, and they're saying all of these words because they're trying to harm her with the words, they're trying to upset her, but as the song progresses, she learns to ignore them. She says, but fire away because I won't let the shame sink in. So she won't listen to what they're saying. That's further on. But this tells us about the character's life. She is used to hearing all of these comments over and over again. We know that it's happened before because she's not really that bothered. She's not surprised that she's just been shot. She's like, oh, well, it's happening again. So what does this tell us about her life? She's used to all of these different people saying really horrible things about her. And it's just one of those things. It's happened before. The song is about the character's journey to accepting who she is. How is this shown throughout the song now? There are so many different quotes here that you could have noted down. So I'll show you some, I'll list a few. We've got some here that's like, let me have a look. We've got an I'm marching on to the beat I drum. So it's almost about her taking control of her life. And she's going to set the rhythm that she's going to walk at. Well, fire away, because today I won't let the shame sink in. She's learning not to care. She's not gonna let people make her feel bad. It says we are bursting through the barricades. Now, a barricade is something that's put in the way to stop you. So this is almost like her overcoming a challenge. She's not even just gonna creep over. She's not gonna knock that out. Actually, she's gonna run through that challenge full pelt, and she's gonna go through the barricade and go into somewhere new. She's going to overcome something in quite a dramatic fashion. We've got, I won't let them break me down to dust. So she's not going to take it anymore. I'm just not going to let them do it. And we've got, I make no apologies. This is me. Like, she's beginning to care less. She's not going to say sorry for being a bit different. That's her. And she's not going to care about the negative aspects. So any of those quotes, you may have a few more of your own, as long as you can justify them. Another round of bullets hits my skin. This is an example of a metaphor, because she is saying the words are bullets, and the skin is almost like her ego, her sense of herself, and the bullets are meant to break that, but as we know, she's going to not let that happen. That is a metaphor. It's not like she's saying the words, which are like bullets, are hitting my skin or trying to hurt me, but she's saying that they are bullets. Well done. Some very complex answers there. Well done if you got those. And finally, we have our 3 chili challenge. So, much like the previous two questions. She starts off quite shy and timid, and as I say, this is shown through the song lyrics, the fact that she's singing on her own, she's singing very quietly, she obviously doesn't want to be noticed, she doesn't want to be seen, she's hiding in the dark, but at the end, she's got everybody singing around her. It's almost as if she's singing really powerfully, really loud. She's in the middle of everybody and they're all joining in this time, so she's singing with confidence. I would say it's quite powerful. So it's showing, they've done this because it's showing the journey that she's on, from being really shy to actually realising she shouldn't hide and she should be proud of who she is. How does the composer reflect the character's journey in the music? So have a think. I think I covered a lot of this just a minute ago. It starts off, it's quite slow, quite quiet. The singer is singing on her own. There's lots of pauses in the music. But as the song progresses, it gets louder, more people joining in the singing. She starts to sing with more confidence, more power in her singing, and they all start singing together and bouncing off each other. So that's how they show the journey. Through the rising volume, to the quickening in pace, to the people joining in. And if you listen to the music as well, it gets slightly more complicated as the song goes through. What is meant by the phrase, and I'm marching onto the beat, I drum? I drew particular importance to the word I. So if you think about a marching band, so you might see them at parades and carnivals, and you have someone banging the drum. You might have seen it in a film. Normally, when soldiers march, they march in a rhythm. Left, right, left, right, left, right. The guy with the marching drum is there to keep people in rhythm, all doing the same thing. And all of the other people march to the same rhythm as the person with the drum. So what she is saying is actually she is going to take control of that drum. She is deciding how fast people go, how slow people go. She is going to decide that. She's taking control of that, and she is not going to listen to anybody else. She's going to do what she wants to do. That's what is meant by that phrase. Why do you think the song ends with "This is me"? If we think about the title and pair that with the message, this is quite a short, sharp, confident statement that shows you that she's no longer the person that she was. This is me. It's the name of the song, and it's almost gone in a circle. We've gone back round to the title. Well done. Some very tricky answers there. Some very complicated answers, and there was a lot of